On this beautiful morning, we are at an area that a lot of people recognize, but we are also at the brink of something new. So with me today is Ken Freeman, who many of you know is our trails coordinator for the City of Hot Springs, about to tell us about the new leg of the Hot Springs Creek Greenway Trail. How are you this morning?
Good, good. Thank you, Terry. It's great to be here and great to be able to talk about some positive progress.
Yes, tell us first, where are we?
We are now at the corner of Seneca Street and Adams Street, which is currently the most current end of the Hot Springs Creek Greenway Trail. And we're standing at about the spot where if somebody comes down the trail, they turn around to head back towards Transportation Depot.
Right.
And so we're about 2.25 miles from Transportation Depot where we are now.
Which, as we film, is the farthest that you can go.
That's correct. I mean, by the time this is shown, there'll be behind us will be construction going on, and it should start anytime this week.
Well, that's very exciting. So we're at the beginning of the new section. Tell us what the name of the trail, the new trail section will be.
The new trail section, we do these things in phases of things, obviously, because we can't do them all at one time. So it's Hot Springs Creek Greenway Trail, and it's the fifth phase, and it's section C of that. So it's not particularly a wonderful, catchy name necessarily, and so the Friends of the Park's president, Ned Skoog, always refers to this section as the Happy Old Troll Trail, because it's easier for him to remember that, and referring to the fact that this phase actually will go underneath Golf Links Road and under the bridge there, and so he's referring back to our old childhood folklore, stories about a troll living under a bridge.
Oh, so it's definitely got the most unique construction elements to it, this section.
This section, you're absolutely right, Terry. This section has a number of different elements, and several of those the trail users are going to find pretty interesting. We'll start off here behind us with a pretty standard asphalt connection. It won't look much different than where we're standing now, but it will then change fairly rapidly to an elevated concrete boardwalk, which will be a really interesting feature, and it's going to kind of wander through, we call it canopies. It's about halfway up some of the trees that are in there, and then after the concrete boardwalk, it'll come back to ground, back just before the bridge, and then we'll go with the concrete trail under the bridge, and then on the south side of the bridge, going downstream, will be about another 800 feet of asphalt trail again.
So all told, how long is this section?
It's about 1,400 feet in this stretch.
Now, we know that behind the scenes, funding is always something that takes a lot of care and effort. What is the funding package for this section of trail?
This is one of those that we were fortunate to get for the city, a transportation alternative program grant, which is through the Federal Highway Administration and is ministered by our state highway department here in Arkansas. And they applied, that a grant was applied for this project, and we were awarded that. And so it's an 80-20 match, with the 80% coming from the Federal Highway Administration and the 20% coming from local, which is from the Parks and Trails budget. Part of it came from a pledge by Visit Hot Springs, for they recognized the value of a trail being here, and the other part was pledged by Hot Springs Friends of the Parks, as they have done a number of times.
We appreciate those grant partners so much,
Yeah.
so that we can leverage 20% in most cases to the grant dollars that are available.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a wonderful way to be able to do that, to get $5 for your $1.
Fantastic. And now briefly, what is the next section of trail after this one?
Yes,
You're already working on that.
In October of 2016, the city was approved and awarded a grant for that next stretch, which they had applied for, and that stretch will go from where the end of the one that we're starting on now. It'll go from where that one ends, should go all the way down to connect to where TV Hill Road would intersect with the creek. And so that will be a major accomplishment, to finally get down to where TV Hill Road and those neighborhoods from there will be able to connect into the trail, or from this end to get down to there.
How great for the folks who live in that area.
Yes, yes.
Now let's wrap up by talking about May. It's something to do with bicycles. It's an important month for bicyclists.
May is a National Bicycle Month, and so throughout May there are numbers of activities that happen all around the country. We here in Hot Springs, we will have just passed, at time of airing, we just passed the National Bike to Work Week and Bike to Work Day, so hopefully we had a lot of people taking part in that.
Yes.
And then coming up on just before Memorial Day weekend, the Visit Hot Springs is organizing a slow roll event, which will involve a chance for bicyclists of all abilities and ages to take and to ride together in a group, and go from the Spa City Bicycle Shop to Parkside Bicycle Shop, and with festivities at each of those, and then finish at Farmers Market, which I think will also coincide with it being a food truck Friday day there, and so it'll be lots of activities celebrating that.
What a fun event.
And then Sunday after that, on the Memorial Day, the May 28th, we'll be having the Do for the Parks Duathlon, which will be our 18th year for doing that. And it, of course, is Friends of the Parks' main fundraiser for their money that they use for the Greenway donations.
And over 18 years, that money adds up for
Yeah.
trail development.
Yes.
And of course, behind us, what a fun opportunity for bicycle riders, as well as all the miles of bike lanes that have been constructed in Hot Springs, and we continue to add more, don't we?
That's correct, and so hopefully during, if you haven't taken part in some of that already in May, then you've still got time left to get out and go ride on the bike lanes up on Park Avenue, or ride down on your bike here on the Hot Springs Creek Greenway Trail, and show your support for May being Bicycle Month.
Absolutely. You can always find out more about the exciting activities for bicyclists and just outdoor enthusiasts of all kinds in the wonderful monthly Parks and Trails magazine, e-magazine, that you can find online at cityhs.net. So check that magazine for details. It's always a fun read. And thank you for not only being the trails guy for Hot Springs, but being the bicycle guy. Surely you've seen Ken out on two wheels here in Hot Springs promoting such a wonderful and healthy pastime. So thanks for updating us on the trail today, and we look forward to getting to the lake.
That's right. Get to the lake, Terry.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
And next week we'll bring you more city news.